Hello everybody, and thanks for checking out my review of the Omega Speedmaster Racing Steel on Steel with White Dial. Reference number on this version is 329-3044-5104-001. Now if you like this review, please click the thumbs up, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified of new reviews when I post them. Please also leave questions, comments, and feedback below. Now, if you've been following this channel for a while, you'll see that lately I've been jumping around to different white dial watches. I had the Speedmaster Moonwatch with similar 2-sub-dial and date layout with the earlier 9300 coaxial movement. Now click on the eye on the top right hand of the screen to see that video. Now the difference between the two movements are minimal. Both are coaxial movements with 60-hour power reserve. The 9300 was COSC, which certifies accuracy within +6, -4 seconds per day. The 9900 is METAS certified with stricter testing and certified accuracy of within +5 seconds per day. Now from what I've read, 9900 used different materials for better anti-magnetic characteristics. Now before NASA made the Speedmaster famous for being the first watch on the moon, it was released as a motorsports professional chronograph back in 1957. Omega's first Speedmaster was 39mm, it was the CK2915, it featured the Omega Calibre 321 movement and stainless steel tachymeter bezel. It was a unique watch with enthusiasts nicknaming it the Broad Arrow, referring to the arrow-shaped hour hand. The next model, CK998, made improvements to the chrono second hand and added a black aluminum bezel to make it easier to read, and it increased the size to 40mm. They also added gaskets to the chrono pushers for improved water resistance. In the next versions, Omega updated the Speedmaster to increase the size to 42mm, they changed to the baton hands found on modern Speedies, and its look moved towards the style that we see in modern moonwatches today. The style is classic, very little has changed from the original moonwatch. Omega's released different editions and versions of the space-themed moonwatches. The racing versions may not be as popular and well known, but these versions have allowed Omega to be a lot more creative. In the late 60s, Omega released the motorsport racing versions of the Speedmaster next to the Moonwatch with racing dials like the MK2. Now Omega did a modern release of the MK2 with a larger size case, date, and coaxial movement, which sold really well. They continued to release different versions of the Speedmaster Racing with different colors and designs and different movements and complications. Speedmaster Racing models have allowed Omega to continue designs with different variations, some with similar styles and shapes of the Moonwatch on the one side, while getting very creative on the other. This latest version features the white textured dial. Omega got creative with the classic design with different color and strap variations of this watch. This watch looks amazing. It's 50-meter water resistant. Sizing is 44.25mm wide, 14.9mm thick. It weighs 185 grams. The stainless steel has very detailed finishing with fine brushing and polishing. The sides are flat and brushed, the front and back edges of the steel are polished. The scratch-resistant sapphire is domed with anti-reflective coating on both sides of the crystal, making this watch very legible. The white dial has its own detailing with pebble-like texture. The markers and minute, hour, and chrono hands have decent lume, and here's how that looks. The finish on all the hands, sub-dial rings, and applied markers almost appear black, but the finish is more like a dark gunmetal, and it works perfect to contrast over the white dial, making it very easy to read. Now the chrono hand tip is orange to match the Speedmaster writing on the dial. The date is placed on the bottom, which keeps the dial's symmetry. There's not much writing. The Omega logo with Speedmaster scripted in the orange below the logo. Above the date reads in black print two simple lines, coaxial and master chronometer. The crown is signed with the Omega logo. The bracelet is the classic Speedmaster bracelet with polished inner links. It's very flexible, very comfortable. It's sized with screws and it features two half links for ideal sizing. The clasp is brushed with the Omega logo. Pushing the oval buttons on the side of the clasp opens it where you can see the short quarter-link sized sliding extension to allow you to adjust on the fly for wrist swelling. One thing I like about the edge of the link is it looks natural tucked behind the extension. Some of them show a gap when extended on different watches. This version looks seamless. The back case has polished stainless steel around the sapphire on the bottom, which is also domed. This gives an effect that has the decorated 9900 movement appear almost like it's magnified or raised. The curved lugs lay close to the wrist to have this watch wearing smaller than the specs read. This watch is very well designed. The 9900 movement is very easy to work with. The chrono buttons are firm and have a nice tactile feedback. Pushing the start-stop moves the second hand, and the right subdial shows minutes and hours. Press the start-stop button to stop the time, and the reset button zeroes everything out. This watch does not have a quick set date, so you pull it out one click and set the date using the hour hand around the dial. Now this function is also great when traveling or daylight saving, so you don't have to set the watch. You can also make the date move backwards with this setting without hurting the movement. The second click moves the minute hand to set the time. Rotate the crown to manually wind. Alright, so here's a wrist shot, and as you can see, it fits extremely well. I have 7.5-inch wrists, and with the size, it doesn't really overbear my wrist like you would think the dimensions would have it look. Omega's gone next level with their modern watches. Their in-house movements are some of the most advanced and as accurate as you can get on a watch. You can see Omega is taking a lot of pride in these latest models and designs. So that's it for my review of the Speedmaster Racing. This is a unique watch being compared to the Rolex Daytona in regards to the looks, and obviously it's a lot easier to get. It's a great line of watches with superior in-house movements, accuracy, and engineering, and they look great. Now if you like this review, please click the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified of future reviews. Please leave a comment below. I love reading them, and I respond to them all. And you can also find me on Twitter at DougFNJ, and I could also be found on watchyouseek.com. It's a great website with great content, awesome community of people over there. Now this watch was purchased at an Omega authorized dealer, topperjewelers.com. Check out their selection of new and pre-owned watches. I want to thank you again for watching. Stay safe and have a great day.